So we are busy, certainly during this Lent, but we should be always, how do we lift those moments when we can feel the walls falling in of our own thoughts and lift that and give that in faith in Christ's name? We know physically and health-wise we cannot carry those anxieties around. They're just going to fester and manifest in other forms. So we have to learn to become divine physicians with God. And for me, at least there was one day that was particularly stressful this week, and I could feel that tightening even all around me. And the first thing that I started with is to remind myself of breath. Get that oxygen flow, and even my lungs were constricting. Get that flow, because I could feel that tightening. So just letting that go, becoming conscious of breath, getting that oxygen. And then I felt my solar plexus chakra tightening, the pit of your stomach in a sense. And I wanted to get that in throw, so you have to kind of, in a meditative, awakened state, kind of see that chakra flowing at the right speed, in the right direction, and just breathe. Some of the things that help me to do that is kind of stop the what-ifs, because my mind would go, what if, trying to extrapolate where the problem would manifest and go towards. That does no good at all. At least in these situations, anxiety just propels it. I try to use things like affirmations that are not necessarily God-centered in the sounding, but what is. What is. Meaning in that moment, there's nothing I can do. Either the windows are going to fit or they're not, right? What is. So I want to then start inviting God. So go to God. God, come in and help me have the strength to meet whatever happens. So again, now you're kind of molding that process to ask God's help to come into that situation and lift me. And then I start very short prayers, because usually with anxiety, you aren't in that, wonderful place where you can pray and you feel you're a little stressed. So your prayers are, it's hard to kind of even wait for that connection to God's, but you say your prayer, mantle this situation. Try not to put you inserting your own will, but it's probably trying to make God mantle this moment. May all be healthy. May all be safe. May I have the strength to meet it, and so on. I think in this one stressful moment today, I think I said 4 to 5 of these prayers in a very short time, like 15 minutes, because I'd finish a prayer, feel better for about a minute, and then I get stressed again, go back to praying, and just kind of knowing that time. And eventually, you kind of, with those, what is, you have to relax, and you have to give it to God. And then, of course, we'll deal with things that they come. And then it's always good, if you can, is to try to ground that into some action item of your life. And so for me, if you remember my New Year's talk, I gave us 3 challenges: positivity, kindness, and joy, that at least I was going to be tackling this year. And as a community, I thought it would be wonderful if we do. So if we can somehow give something of ourselves. So it's not just pray and say, God, take care of this problem. Help my anxiety lift and be lifted. No, it's grounding. This is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to have to shift and try to find a positive way to approach this, which was very difficult. In this case, it's not ignoring the problem or the potential problem, right? But it's trying to look at the positive situation, how strong this is making me. There's all kinds of little things that we can do, and seeing how we interact. Kindness was probably the biggest thing. It's probably stressing other people out as well. How can I be kind in my interactions with others to help them lift that? And then joy is a real tough one to find in the moment. But it basically, to me, the best joy I could do in that moment was not be negative. Okay? So sometimes you just have to reach for where that bar is, and only as high as you can go. But then once you start getting out of it, you realize, like a hot air balloon, it pulls you to those higher octaves of what that trust led to in that joy.